Christ is in our midst. Welcome to Spiritual Calisthenics. Today, on March 8th, we commemorate the Holy Father Theophylact the Confessor, Bishop of Nicomedia. Theophylact was from the east. His native city is unknown. In Constantinople, he became a close friend of Tarsius, who afterwards became Patriarch of Constantinople. Theophylact was made Bishop of Nicomedia. After the death of St. Tarsius, his successor, Nicephorus, called together a number of bishops to help him in fighting the iconoclasm of Emperor Leo the Armenian, who reigned from 813 to 820. Among them was Euthymius, Bishop of Sardis, who had attended the Holy Seventh Ecumenical Council in 787. He was exiled 3 times for the sake of the holy icons, for defying Emperor Theophilus' command to renounce the veneration of the icons, and was scourged from head to foot until his whole body was one great wound, from which he died 8 days later. About the year 830, Joseph of Thessaloniki, Michael of Sidada, Emilian, Bishop of Cyzicus, and St. Theophylact, who boldly rebuked Leo to his face, telling him that because he despised the long-suffering of God, utter destruction was about to overtake him, and there would be none to deliver him. For this, Theophylact was exiled to the fortress of Strobylus in Caria of Asia Minor, where after 30 years of imprisonment and hardship, he gave up his holy soul about the year 845. Leo the Armenian, according to the saint's prophecy, was slain in church on the eve of our Lord's Nativity in 820. You did live a life hidden in God, well-famed Theophylact, but Christ revealed you unto all as a shining light set upon the spiritual lampstand, and he placed in your hands the tablets of the Spirit's doctrines, whereby do you enlighten us. Continuing on, as we see again within the prophecy of Isaiah, that we see that the Lord is going to bring ruin to those who are haughty upon the earth, who do falsehoods and lie, and everything is bitter as a result. And so we see that the Lord, who is our righteous God, who loves us, is also a righteous God of judgment, and his judgment is coming. Continuing in Genesis, then Cain went away from the presence of the Lord and dwelt in the land of Nod, east of Eden. Now there are some that interpret the land of Nod as the place of demons. Cain knew his wife, and she conceived and bore Enoch. And he built a city, and called the name of the city after the name of his son, Enoch. To Enoch was born Irad, and Irad was the father of Machiel, and Machiel was the father of Methuselah, and Methuselah was the father of Lamech. And Lamech took 2 wives. The name of the one was Ada, and the name of the other was Zillah. Ada bore Jabal. He was the father of those who dwell in tents and have cattle. His brother's name was Jubal. He was the father of all those who play the lyre and the pipe. Zillah bore Tubal-Cain. He was the forger of all instruments of bronze and iron. The sister of Tubal-Cain was Naamah. Lamech said to his wives, Ada and Zillah, hear my voice. You wives of Lamech, hearken to what I say. I have slain a man for wounding me, a young man for striking me. If Cain is avenged 7-fold, truly Lamech 77-fold. So once again we see that the offspring of Cain are children of sin and iniquity and arrogance. Going back to Adam, and Adam knew his wife again. She bore a son and called his name Seth. For she said, God has appointed for me another child instead of Abel, for Cain slew him. To Seth also a son was born, and he called his name Enosh. And at that time men began to call upon the name of the Lord. So from the time of Enosh, we see people begin to pray to God, which is what we are supposed to do. Continuing on with Proverbs, drink water from your own cistern, flowing water from your own well. Should your springs be scattered abroad, streams of water in the streets, let them be for yourselves alone, and not for strangers with you. Let your fountain be blessed, and rejoice in the wife of your youth, a lovely hind, a graceful doe. Let her affection fill you at all times with delight. Be infatuated always with her love. Why should you be infatuated, my son, with a loose woman, and embrace the bosom of an adventuress? For man's ways are before the eyes of the Lord, and he watches all his paths. The iniquity of the wicked ensnare him, and he is caught in the toils of his sin. He dies for lack of discipline, and because of his great folly he is lost. My son, if you have become surety for your neighbor, have given your pledge for a stranger, if you are snared in the utterance of your lips, caught in your words of your mouth, then do this, my son, and save yourself, for you have come into your neighbor's power. Go, hasten, and importune your neighbor. I hope that you've enjoyed today's Spiritual Calisthenics. Have a blessed and wonderful day.